Alright, hello everyone. This is Vicky Verley, the Rock and Roll Prophetess. Today normally we're going to do our full moon chart. I've been doing the new and the full moon chart. What I have in front of me is the equinox. And actually I'm thinking I want to take a look at 3 charts today. Because we have the equinox, which is on the 22nd. And that really is, the best chart to do, the 4 equinoxes, as far as predictive for everybody. Because it's the start of the new phase, and it's like a snapshot of what the new phase of the next few months will look like for the season, which is the fall season coming up. But there's it falls right in with the full moon is on the 19th, a couple days before. And another event that I nailed down here that we've been talking about is, and it's prevalent in all these charts, is the Saturn node conjunction. But I did do a chart on that exact moment. Let's just start with the, with the full moon, I guess. So let's see what we got here. This is the Saturn conjunct. We could start with that. And somebody commented, and it is, these things are like these merkebahs, but right away it's that crystalline image that's happening. And what's happening in all 3 of these charts, and what's happening with the Star of David, and what's happening with the full moon, which is in Pisces, in water, opposed the sun in Virgo, earth. It's water, earth, and with the nodes, it's water, earth, and it's the difference between water and earth, like in every level. And I think, and what it boils down to is, if we could just generalize it into one little concept, I would say that it's the earth. We're in the earth plane here. It's the versus the earth, which is the ego, the animal part of us. We're the flesh, the earth. We're here in the flesh, and the spirit. The water is the spirit. So it's the flesh and the spirit. It's the enlightenment. I think that is on every level. That's what this is about. It's true with Scorpio. And in this the nodal conjunction, it's Taurus again. That's in the past. That's the south node in the past. And the north node is where we're meant to be going. And, there's a lot of other things with Taurus and Scorpio, but you could boil it down to just that. Taurus is the immaterial, and Scorpio is the mystic. So it's those 2 oppositions, and it's time to do it. Saturn is going to make you do it, if you want to do it or not. So it's happening, and I do believe these energy portals are opening, and it is being shown to us in these, in these charts. And the other thing that I wanted to say about the Star of David and these pyramids that I've been seeing, everything, I think the pyramids, yes, directly are in correlation with the pyramids in Egypt and all this unrest that's going on there. And it's been going on in the Middle East. I mean, it's happening now, but it's been going on, for years. And what I had a thought on that, the Star of David and these aspects and these, these 3D dimensional. I'm going to just go on to the next couple charts, and you can see it's all there. It is again. These sparks of light, these stars and everything, and you can definitely see it here. What I want to say about it is that it's amplifying the energy. It's amplifying energy, period. I feel that is totally what's happening. But it depends on what kind of energy you're immersed in, I guess. And it's all sorts of energies getting amplified. It's not just, the higher etherical realms. If you're already immersed in civil unrest and war and friction all the time, even in, not take the Middle East out of it, try an inner city, in America, where there's all this, crime, and people are just so, there's so much fear, crime, there's hopelessness, there's poverty, there's hunger. These energies are getting amplified. So it's like whatever you're in is amplifying more. So with that in mind, I think that what we need to do is, maybe send some light if we can. I think if we are in a clear, and you can get in a clear space and find that light, even if you're immersed in all this chaos, but it's not as easy. It's not as easy to, it takes a little more oomph. So maybe if people who are feeling the light, who are in that centered, calm space, can get there, relatively easily through whatever means, or in a nice calm environment. Maybe we need to send to everybody else who's not. And the fear and anger and looking down on people like that, because Leo's involved in this too somewhere. Was it Mars is in Leo, I think, in all these charts. Where is it? Yeah, Mars is in Leo here. And that's like this fear and anger of looking down on people and like disgracing them. Oh, what a disgrace. Or, oh, you know, shaming. Trying to Chiron too. That's like that, trying to shame people. You know, Chiron's been involved in these grand trines and everything. You know, the more you do that, that is not, you're just amplifying the negative, really. So there's an amplification of energy going on, and that's what this has all been about. And that's why things are coming to a head, because that energy's already been there. It's already been rumbling and festering. You know, so it's, you know, it's coming to a head. And I feel like this is the way to go, the way of spirit, you know, the way of, you know, the higher, you know, with the lower zodiacs are again, you know, in the me, and then you get into the higher numbered signs, and they're more, you know, it's more about the advancement. And not to say that you're more advanced. You could have, you know, you could be a Taurus and be a very advanced soul. I'm not trying to put anybody above another. But that's you know, in just regular astrology, that's what this stuff all symbolizes. And Scorpio is definitely going for, you know, deeper. They're not superficial, you know. They're out there, you know, they want to solve a mystery. They're out there in the mist, in the gel, in the water. They're not really in the earth plane, you know, sitting on their possessions and me, mine, and, you know, like Aries and Taurus. They're out there trying to find out what it's all about, you know, and I'm feeling like walking through gelatinous, thick material, so I don't even know what that means. Maybe it's just going to get thick. It's going to get heavy. You know, and all these, Venus is involved, though. This is the Saturn conjunct the node. It's not quite in there, but it's moving in 2 degrees off. So that is a beautiful thing. Although Venus is, I think it might be at its detriment in Scorpio. I mean, it's not necessarily where you think of Venus. And actually Venus, one of the planets, one of the signs it rules is Taurus. So it's in opposition to its natural placement ruler there. But I just feel it's going to help it all out here. It's going to help it all out. And Venus, again, like what I'm saying with this Mars Leo, you know, and I turn on TV anymore. I turn on like a talk show, and all they're doing is like disgracing and shaming these people. And, oh, I'm so above it. And how could she do that? Or how could it? You know, that poor girl Lindsay Lohan, leave her alone. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for her. I mean, it's gotten to a completely different thing now. But when it first started, you know, she was a college-aged kid who was out partying. You know, leave her alone. I mean, thank God cameras weren't following me around at that age, or I'm sure a lot of us could say that, you know, when you were young. Thank God cameras weren't watching my every move, you know, because I was definitely partying at that age too. I think that's the normal, you know, way to be at that age. And then it's got blown out of proportion. But everybody just wants to get on their high horse and look down and shame on everybody. Oh, wow. You know, that's part of Scorpio. That's you can get that dark element of Scorpio in here. You know, this is all squaring this node thing. You know, it's getting squared by this Mars, you know. And, well, what that, you know, and what it is, you know, when you're trying to shame somebody, or you're, you know, it is the dark part of yourself. It always is. You know, you see something that you hate about yourself. Yeah, so with this Mars and Leo, you know, that's, you can be like, I'm on my high horse and I'm right. But it's squaring this point, you know, this nodal thing, and Venus is involved. And I feel like, you know, Scorpio can be that, you know, self-loathing. The dark, deep side of Scorpio, that can be that self-loathing. And that's, you know, since this is all occurring in the sign of Scorpio, you know, this is, let's look at the iconic things of Scorpio. You can be you know, the stinging, there's 3 levels. You can be the stinging Scorpio, and those are the mean people, you know, Scorpios with their tempers. And this is the, you know, they can be really mean and violent and hold a grudge. Oh boy, can Scorpio hold a grudge like nobody else. And then, in the middle is the gray lizards, and they're just kind of wishy-washy. They're neither up nor down. I kind of feel like they're just like depression. or just a blob, or just, gray lizards are just like sleeping giants. That would be a good way to say it, because the Scorpio, the best way you can go with the Scorpio, its highest expression is, but you can be an eagle. And the eagle is, it soars above. It makes, it's majestic. So Leo could roll with that. Leo likes the majestic part. Leos are like, oh, well, maybe, like Mars is in Leo. It's like, oh, well, majestic. Oh, I think I could, maybe I would like that. So, that's where we should, well, ultimately we should all try to go anyway. But, when faced with the Scorpio choices there, let's try to, go the high road. Let's try to be the eagle. So let's show our magnificence. The eagle shows their magnificence. I think a lot of this self-loathing is just fear of showing your true self and showing, who you really, really are, and, your own beautiful expression, spread your wings and everything. So I think that's a big part of it. Now, the Mars in Leo, too, I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but I am going to look at the other charts. But Mars in Leo, this is this war element, over prideful stuff, over, so much over religion. And Scorpios, I think, can kind of get past religion. And I'm not trying to put religion down necessarily. I know a lot of people, reach spiritual peace and everything through religion, and it gives them great comfort, and they find their way to the light through religion. That's not been my experience personally, though. I always was felt this punishing, and that's that Chiron involved, I always felt more connected to spirit out in nature than I ever did in any church. I always felt fearful, when I was fearful of being when I was in church, as a child, I mean, but anyways, fear of being punished, and that's, this too, and that could be that Scorpio too. So we're going to transmute that. We got to transmute our views on spirituality and take it out of the Taurian, mine, I'm right, my land, my this, my that, into, let's get to the truth of the matter. That's what Scorpio wants to do. But this Mars, these are these religious wars. All these wars are over religion, pretty much. My religious beliefs, and Mars, Leo, my way is the right way, and even all the pomp and circumstance that goes along with it all, the crowns and that's why this new Pope is kind of cool. He's not really buying into all that stuff. The scepters and whatever the heck, the costumes they wear and everything. That's very much Leo. Sure, I'm the king. I'm the crown. I know the most. I'm higher than you. My thing is better than you. All this stuff. That's Mars and Leo. And Mars is Aries, the ego, me. In Leo, it could just be out of control. So yeah, we all have egos. Come on, we're on Earth here. We're in human bodies. Everybody has an ego. It's not so, you can't just get rid of your ego. But you can maybe transmute it to do something better, to a better way, or you put it to good use or something like that. Also, at that point, that Sun and Moon are close to that degree, that 26th degree of Sag, which is that portal, that's that galactic center spot. We got the Moon at 24 Aquarius, and we've got the Sun at 24 Virgo, which that is some kind of a, I forget what the aspect is. That's some kind of aspect, but they're both, this is squaring the galactic center, and this is sextiling the galactic center, and the vertex, I would say the vertex counts in this chart is 26 also. So I just feel like that's connected, and I feel like that's kind of what this is. Okay, so I covered the big strokes. It's earth and water, and it's spirit and matter, and we're heading in the way of spiritual and enlightenment too. Enlightenment's in on it. Maybe Scorpios aren't considered enlightenment, but they want to know the truth. That's for sure. Let's see what's next here. Okay, here's the actual full moon chart now. So this is still happening, and at the time of the full moon, Venus is in there even more. It's actually made the conjunction and is 1 degree to past, but it's still in there. So that's going to be even amplified. And look at these. This This is just beauty. I see it as just beauty, crystalline. It is 3D. Maybe it is a merkaba, but these things of light. It's. If you want to go back and watch the other video, I did some little drawings, but it really does illustrate. It really illustrate the whole thing there. But anyways, the full moon in Pisces, and it is at 26 degrees. So again, there's that's the square to the galactic center. Which is right, there's no planets here, and the wheel doesn't, this is the East Coast chart, by the way, Eastern time. So the wheel will change, but it's funny, I was picking up that 26, and it's all over the place in this chart, 26, 26. It's on the house cusps. And in your natal chart, the house cusps do matter. I don't know how much they really matter in this, though. But here it is again, it's the spirit, and of the water signs, the most spiritual is going to be, Pisces. Come on. They are the deepest. They are the old souls. They've been through everything. Again, it's the cyclical as you get into the higher degrees, but also in the zodiac. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. And then you start over with Aries again. I'm going to get into do a whole thing about karmic astrology, and it depends on where these things fall in your chart. Because everybody's been here, but these are areas sometimes in your chart, if it shows in your natal, that you've been working on over many incarnations. And then maybe you're going to start a new thing. It doesn't mean, oh, if you have low numbers, you're not an old soul, and if you have high numbers, you are. I don't feel like that's really what it is. But at any rate, here we go. So this is 26 Pisces. This is dreamy. This is beautiful. Have a dream. I mean, you could completely have a dream about your life path, about Venus. Venus coming into this with this North Node and Saturn. Okay, what's your life path? Where are we going to go as a people? But in your personal life, where are you going to go? What do you want to do with yourself? This is it's showtime here. It's time to really do it. Saturn's going to cement that thing into place. Venus, though, it's kind of bringing in, like, it doesn't have to be all deep and dark. It's like, what do you really love to do? Do what you love and the money will follow. Taurus, the money will follow along. That's that book, I believe. It's a great book. I mean, this is just, again, it's just beautiful. It's 3D. These are going out in every direction from this central energy source. I mean, okay, there's aspects involved. We've got, the squares. The squares in fixed again. I mean, we've watched some of the other videos. We can, you can review that. But this is going on. But it's like this central thing is totally expanding and pushing it out. It's just, I just think it's beautiful and glorious. I'm sorry, but I do. Okay, so with the Mars, Pallas and Lilith has just moved into Leo too. So again, I'm just starting to really get a better handle on Lilith, and I feel strongly that Lilith is, it is one for all. It's discrimination of any kind. So Leo, what I was saying earlier about this, I'm better than you because, I'm Leo. This is stuff Lilith's gonna make us address, I think. I think we're gonna have to take a look at it. And then the fact that the Mars is squaring the nodes here. But at this 26 degrees, this is just, there's something magical about that point. There totally is. It's a galactic center, and that's almost what this feels like. It's the center. It's the point of light that is piercing through. So I want to take a look at the third chart before we wind it up. Yeah, this one was really the equinox, which is this is the chart that is going to be what's going to be happening, and you can totally bring it in. In this case, this looks like an accordion. These three things, like it would be like expanding and contracting like this way, like you'd pull open an accordion, and we've got the moon. All this stuff is still happening. We've got, I would say that Venus is still in there. We got Saturn, the node, still conjunct with the south node, with the moon down there. So talk about, spiritual. This is all this, again, it's water, earth, And the moon is totally our intuition, our dreams. This whole week here, this 17th to the 22nd, whatever, these few days here, this is a lot of intense energy coming through in these few days. That's why I did want to talk about all 3 days and look at all 3 charts. But with moon and south node, and this spans for the fall months. These are past lovers. These are past people from your past lives, past lovers. Moons, you're going to have dreams about them, then you're going to run into each other. This kind of thing could be happening, or you're going to have a dream about them and you're going to hear from them. If you were trying to reach somebody, this would be the powerful time to do it. Do that moon thing that I talked about in the soulmate video. Hear my call from miles away under the moon, the full moonlight, because they will. Or if, as you're drifting off to sleep, send somebody a message, put out the intention of somebody that you're trying to reach. Or even if you're not, it doesn't have to be like for your own personal gain. Maybe this could be forgiveness. This could totally be forgiveness. This could be people that maybe, you had a falling out with, or maybe with all the ego stuff that shows up in these charts, maybe you did, have a display of ego at some point in your life, or treated somebody badly and you always felt bad about it. You could definitely, I feel like this is powerful for forgiveness. Like you could send the message through this energy vortex, through the universe, and it would be received. But that's the part. All this pyramid stuff is going on, and it's moves to me. Like this inner triangle, they seem to be like maybe moving this way, counterclockwise, and then these other the squares, or this other way up here, these seem to be moving the other way. So it's like, oops, excuse me, I was going to try to illustrate with my hands. It's like this. They're moving in both directions. And then this is in the middle going wah, 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 like breathing in and out like an accordion or something. It's alive. Well, it is alive. The cosmos is alive, most definitely, right? In this chart we still have, it looks like Lilith. Oh, this must have been Lilith. I have to backtrack that. Sorry for all the mistakes today. I don't know what's going on, but that other one must have been true or mean Lilith. It looks like Lilith still conjunct Jupiter here. So, we're still addressing, with this and the past stuff, this is addressing your nurturing. And there comes a time in everybody's life that you have to stop blaming your mother and stop blaming your parents. I think that's a big thing here. Let's stop. Okay, so you didn't have the best parent, or they weren't perfect. They didn't live up to your expectations here with, the Mars and Leo. And you want to still blame them for everything that goes on in your life. Well, then you're never going to have healing. And I'll tell you another thing. You chose these parents. You chose them with all their faults because of some specific lesson that you had to learn. And I did too. Everybody's got it. First of all, everybody's got issues with their parents. Everybody's got issues with their family. But you chose them for your own personal growth and to experience this particular thing in this incarnation. So with that in mind, you can drop that. You can drop that blame stuff, and up here, Scorpio, move into, and again, I just want to talk about that real quickly. Again, I think we're going to wrap it up because I'm having a little troubles here, but maybe I took on too much by looking at all 3 charts together. But it's all happening within a few days, and I think it's important. So the overall message is between Earth and Spirit, and the energy of Scorpio. Don't be the stinging Don't be the stinging Scorpio. Don't be the mean person who's with the Leo square is prideful. Don't be the sloth. Don't be the gray lizard who just lays around and never soars. Be the eagle. Be the eagle and soar and spread your wings and live up to your true potential. And I think that is the big message that can apply for everybody. Regardless of your religion, regardless of your beliefs, be the eagle. Take the high road. Think twice. If you're going to go to that place of that stinging Scorpio, catch yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, as they say. All right. This is Vicki Burley. the rock and roll prophetess. I hope that I've helped you out somewhat. The other big thing in this is that these merkabahs and these stars of David, I'm sure that this came to me very clearly. They're amplifying the energy. So think about what kind of energy you want to amplify, and if you're in a good place, maybe you can send some vibrations without condensation. Oh, I like that. Maybe I'm going to write a song. Send some vibrations without condensation. Or condensation, or what's it when you look down on people? Condensation is liquid. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's time to go. This is Vicki Verley signing out, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.